I'm Michael Artsis alongside Darrell, Reid, and this is Sports Daily on sports.com and ustream.tv. Thanks for joining us. The number to call, 347-480-1724. That's 347-480-1724. If you want to join in the conversation, you can also reach us at Twitter. That's sports_media, SPORTCE_media on Twitter. You've also got Foots95 at Twitter.
Happy Friday to everybody out there.
It's a good Friday today. I like Fridays. I like today. Next week we've got a lot of stuff on the plate. Tammy Strong, a female bodybuilder, will be on. We'll have James Grappando, a very famous author. In addition to that, we'll have a lot of great athletes for you. In addition to that is my new favorite phrase, apparently. So
it's not even new. It's not a new.
It's not new.
Phrase at this point.
Well, to boot, we have a lot more coming up next week. We'll have a lot of athletes on.
To boot, somebody will like that one.
Somebody will like that. But we do have a lot of athletes on coming up next week as well. Right now, we've had a couple of guests cancel for today. We might have one guest. I don't want to promote it just yet. But we will have plenty of great guests next week as well.
And you can always be a guest. So call in. What's the call-in number?
I forgot. No, I'm just kidding. 347-480-1724. That's the number to call in. Again, 347-480-1724. Say hello to Artie in the control room when you call, and tell us what's on your mind. Let's talk some sports. If you want to bring up life, you can do that as well. You know, here's something interesting, D. Tiger Woods is in the Masters, and his golf game has really suffered in the past year and a half, 2 years, since getting divorced and having his scandal and all that. I've said this on the air before, that I believe that it's because Tiger tried to change his behavior. And I think the problem is he got divorced and he's trying to go through all this therapy and figure out who he is as a person. And I think that Tiger's personality is that he was missing something. And he was filling that void by what he was doing, and he hasn't yet worked it out through therapy or whatever, who he is and what he was missing. And so I maintain that since he's single, he should go back to that lifestyle and he should start playing some good golf again. And I really think it's all in his head.
I mean, that's your opinion, but I feel like Tiger might need to take a page out of Ben Roethlisberger's book. You know, learn from your mistakes.
So he should grab the closest girl and get married again.
Or the one that he feels like might be the one. If he's in a position, if he feels like you know that's the best thing for him, or if he can slow down, maybe he can't slow down. But you don't think he can slow down, so that's totally different.
I think that in reality his best golf was when he was running around like a maniac. So there was nothing wrong with his golf game. If you want to be the best golfer, and that's what he was doing, then that's fine. If he wants to be a good person,
so you don't think
story.
Tiger's doing what he was doing?
No,
you think that's and your reasoning behind that is his golf game is suffering? That's the only reason that you have? You don't have any evidence?
No, I don't have any
evidence. You at least got to have a cell phone.
But if the guy's running around, right, then why isn't his golf game good? Or maybe okay, so do you think he's? Do you think he's? Do you think
the two are as related as you try to make?
Do you think that he's running around too much now? Now he's single, so he's running around too much.
Exactly.
So he should settle down.
Maybe.
I don't know what it is, but I know that it's mental. I know that he hasn't lost his golf skill. You don't lose your golf skill. You don't all of a sudden be this great athlete, this great golfer, and all of a sudden lose your skill. You lose your way, but not your skill.
At the same time, he may not have lost his golf game, as you like to say, but golf is such a mental game that if your mind is not right going into the match, going into those events, that it's going to affect your game, especially little things like putting, like staying on the green. You know, and Tiger was his mentality before everything happened.
He was so rock solid before. You couldn't shake him for anything.
He's fully focused. I remember we used to do this. Like, this was the Tiger thing. We used to do that, man. Before games to get focused. Like, you got to have Tiger focus.
But that is the thing. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're playing golf. Golf maybe a little bit more so, but any sport you play, you've got to be hyper-focused. Before you get on that field, there could be nothing in your world. I mean, look, I never played sports professionally, but when I played sports competitively growing up, very competitively, I didn't want to talk to anybody. You know, there were parents who would stand by the tunnel as you'd come out of the locker room. I wouldn't even acknowledge them. I wouldn't acknowledge anybody. I was tunnel vision, and I would work hard to get myself in that. When the guys in the locker room were goofing around and dressed early and stuff, I would sit there and focus on the game and think about what I was going to do and how I was going to play, and I would get that eye of the tiger, so to speak. I'd get that singular focus in the game, and I know that in the NFL, a lot of players do that. You got guys who put on their headphones and come out of those tunnels to warm up and don't pay attention to anything around them. So I think that focus is very, very important in pro sports. Obviously you have to be a good athlete to begin with, but you have to focus.
I think the most important thing out of everything that Mike just said was that he wasn't a professional, but he played very competitively. I think that was the most important
What
thing.
do you got to rag on me for about that? I'm just saying I get the thing.
You know what?
I've been around enough professional players and enough professional teams to know that the difference between playing at a very competitive level in high school and college and playing in the pros is just ability.
This more important than Tiger's game suffering. I want to talk about the game of golf. Is the game of golf, are fans losing interest in the game because Tiger, the star of the game, is not playing how they want him to play? He's not in those final rounds, those final holes. He's not in there. He's not, making that 18-foot putt on the 18th hole.
Well, here's the deal.
He's taking the suspense out of golf, and I think golf is suffering.
Well, I think it's not suffering yet, but I think if he continues to lose, it will. I think it's right at the cusp where Tiger is. Everybody is still kind of they're on the edge. They're waiting for Tiger to come back out and play the way they believe Tiger can. And so it's kind of created a little bit of drama. It's allowed other people to win and kind of catch up to Tiger. And now it gives golf a chance for Tiger to have this Michael Jordan-esque comeback that Michael had when he left basketball and came back. Now, Michael Jordan, the day he left, was the best basketball player on the planet. The day he came back, he was the best basketball player on the planet. He didn't have these struggles.
Well, I don't know. Tiger turned me into a golf fan. I never knew anything about golf, and I actually went to go see Tiger Woods play in the PGA in Hazleton, Minnesota.
But
he was like 10 feet away from me.
But if Tiger turned it around, if Tiger wins the Masters, or if he wins the next match after the Masters,
he has to win. That's
but I'm
my
just
whole
saying,
point.
if he wins,
he hasn't
but I'm
won.
saying, isn't he on the cusp? Because if he wins, everybody comes back, and we're all kind of. No, I think golf has lost viewership, but I think everybody's still paying. But they're still paying attention. They're still waiting. They're still sitting.
Everybody's waiting. How long are you gonna wait?
That's what I'm saying. You're on the cusp. If he keeps losing. If he loses the next 5-6 tournaments, golf is really going to start to suffer, and it'll be hard to get people back. If he wins in the next 5 tournaments, people flock back.
I don't even believe he's playing in as many tournaments as he usually does.
He's not, but I'm saying if he comes back, if he wins in
it's
the next
hurting the
5-6, people are back. People are back.
Either way, it's hurting the game.
It's definitely hurting the game, but on the other hand, it could create. If he wins, people are waiting. They're waiting. If he wins in the next 5-6 and he starts tearing it up again, people are right back, and it's better. It creates a drama because remember, the Bulls were boring because they kept winning. Tiger also, I think, started to get boring because he kept winning, and so it's and I think that Tiger, and a lot of people said it.
I don't think Tiger got boring because he was winning.
I think a lot of people.
It came down
how
to
many
the end.
people
He'd
feel
make those close shots.
How many?
Those 18, 10-foot putts, and you see the Tiger, the crowd roars.
But how many people, right? How many people feel in golf, or how many people feel in the world that we build these stars up, we build them up, and then we love to tear them down, right? And there are so many people who feel that and who said that when Tiger was going through his stuff, that we live as the media and society, we live to build them up, to tear them up, to tear them down, to build them up again. And that's what Tiger's doing. He's trying to get back to being built up again. And I think that's what movies are. If you follow any storyline of a movie, the guy gets the girl, then he loses the girl because he's a moron, and then he gets the girl again at the end of the movie, so we're all happy. And that's how we try and like to flow things. And because of that, and we're very much an ADD society, and we're very much kind of we're schooled by television. We're kind of and the way things are, everything needs to be in 2-minute increments. Because of news packages being 2 minutes, everything we're schooled that way. We're brought up that way. We're conditioned that way, and because of it, we're conditioned with the storylines and all this stuff. So I think that it's a shame. I'd like to see an athlete like a Tiger Woods, like a Kobe Bryant, like a Ben Roethlisberger, who could just be a hero, and continue to be a hero, and we don't get bored when the guy keeps winning and is doing good things.
Nobody is a hero after they lose and after they lose consistently. And so
if he starts winning again,
you're not a hero anymore.
Okay, if he
used to be a hero. We want your opinion out there. Call in 347-480-1724. Is the game of golf suffering because Tiger Woods' game is suffering? And what does Tiger need to do to get his game back on track? We want your opinion. Call in.
I'm telling you though that this is the issue is that if Tiger starts tearing it up again, okay, if he starts tearing it up
which
again,
I hope he does, I'll be a fan again.
Exactly
I'm
my
losing
point.
Interest.
Exactly my point.
Okay.
Everybody will flock back to see him and be happier than ever, and we'll forget this little blip in the radar. It'll be like Jordan going to play baseball.
Okay.
All right.
If you say so.
We're going to take a break.
Tiger took up a lot of time.
He did take up a lot of time.
But I mean, it's important though.
It is important,
especially if you like
golf. He was the greatest, possibly the most
well-known.
On the
greens like I do, or at the range like I do.
He most likely was the most popular athlete worldwide at the time of his, fall.
Arguably.
Who was bigger?
I mean, Jordan's still the biggest athlete, but not. I mean, playing
active.
I mean, Tiger might be.
I mean, Michael Schumacher was no longer racing. He was F1. He was the most popular. He was certainly the biggest money-making athlete.
What about your boy, the soccer player?
The soccer player?
Yeah.
Beckham?
Yeah. What about Beckham, your boy?
I don't think he's the most popular worldwide at the time.
What about like A-Rod?
But what about A-Rod? Most popular worldwide or in America?
No, Tiger's probably most popular worldwide.
And A-Rod's certainly not the most likable. Tiger was the most likable too.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take your calls on Tiger Woods and talk some more about Tiger Woods when we come back. We've got some other great things to talk about. The Knicks are going to limp into the playoffs. We got news about that. Celtics and Bulls, we're going to talk a little bit more about the Celtics, Bulls, and the Miami Heat. We've got NFL draft talk. We've got to talk about baseball. The Red Sox are now 0-6.
Hurts.
That's starting to get scary. That hurts. And the Orioles are 5-1. I like that. I'm happy about that. I thought they were going to do very well. We got to talk about a whole lot more coming up on Sports Daily. Again, the number 347-480-1724. Say hello to Artie in the control room when you call up, and then you'll be on with us. I'm Michael Artsis alongside Darrell Reid, Sports Daily on sports.com and Ustream.tv. We'll be back right after this.
Welcome to Sports. My name is Greg Dorman, and this is Rally Notes.
Racing fans, don't forget that on Thursdays at 7 p.m., it's time for Rally Notes. Greg Dorman, rally racing co-driver from Klein Racing, hosts guests and takes your calls about the entire automotive industry, rally racing, and auto racing in general. Rally racing is a great sport. They have Subarus and all sorts of off-road, all-wheel drive vehicles that run through the mud and the backlogging roads. But he's not only talking rally, he'll talk all sorts of racing and automobiles as well. We'll test cars, we'll drive cars, and we'll have a lot of fun. Rally Notes, 7 p.m. on Thursday. Don't miss it.
Live on sports.com. I'm Peter Schwartz, and we're joined by one of the current.
If you want everything sports, you got to tune in to Schwartz on Sports. Tuesday nights at 8 p.m., Peter Schwartz, the esteemed broadcaster, takes on everything sports. He's got everything from high-end pro sports like the NFL, NBA, and Major League Baseball to alternative sports like extreme games, lacrosse, tennis, golf, and everything in between.
Joined by Minnesota Vikings Hall of Famer John Randall. Last year, you were inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and that is the biggest honor that a player can get bestowed on him. What was that feeling like when you were enshrined in that candidate?
It was unbelievable.
You got to check out Schwartz on Sports because there's nothing you know that he doesn't. He knows everything sports. So check it out, 8 p.m. on sports.com, Tuesdays.
Welcome back to Sports Daily. Darrell Reid alongside my man Michael Artsis, talking a little sports. Call in, give us your opinion. 347-480-1724. We want to hear what you have to say about Tiger and whatever else we're going to discuss today.
We're on daily from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Time with you on sports.com and ustream.tv. And that's exciting. We're just talking about Tiger Woods and his game and when he's going to rebound and if he's going to rebound and how he needs to. And I thought you brought up an interesting point. You said you play golf because of Tiger. You go to the links, you take some hacks at the driving range.
I'm not very good at all.
But you like the
I
game.
tried, like, I was on vacation, right? A quick story. I was on vacation in Puerto Rico, and I'm like, okay, let me remind you, I've never went and tried to play an 18, a back nine, nothing. You know what I mean? I just go to the range, little putt-putt. So I'm in Puerto Rico. I'm on a vacation. I say, you know what? I want to do like a back nine. I want to do like an 18. So I go and I hire some like golf pro out there in Puerto Rico, and I'm out there for literally like 5-6 hours, bro. Like hacking away. I lost like a whole bag of balls. Like the people behind me, I'm like, just go ahead to the next hole. I was out there terrible.
It makes golf.
You can't just go out there and try to like play a back nine or 18.
It makes golf a very expensive game when you lose a lot of balls.
And it's a tough game. It really made me respect golfers a lot more, and Tiger Woods.
You know, the thing with golf, more than anything, like you said it before, it's mental. It's a mental game, and if you're mentally focused for that day, then you're good, and if you're not, then you're bad. And it's hard to stay focused for 18 holes. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, it's hard for the professionals.
Well, all right. You think he's going to get back on track or not?
I hope so. I hope so for Tiger.
But you asked
for
me
the game of golf. I hope he gets back on track because to me, the viewership is down. Fans are suffering. We should get some statistics. Where's JoJo at? JoJo, we need stats. Golf viewership. What's going on?
All right. You asked me, but you're a professional athlete. What do you think is going on with Tiger Woods?
I mean, I think mentally he's just not in the same position that he was in before, where he can block the outside world in and just focus like he used to be able to do because it's so much turmoil going on outside of his golf.
How
world.
hard is it to lock on and have that focus?
It depends on the person. I think for Tiger, he did a very good job for the most part of being able to focus in each and every tournament, giving his best, not thinking about what was going on with his. You think about when he lost his dad, everything he went through there, and he comes out, he plays in the next tournament, he does great, wins the next tournament, wins 2 more tournaments, and then he said, you know what, emotionally this is a little too much, I got to take some time off, But I think he's not able to block out things like he used to be able to.
Well, what about for you? When you were on a football field, were you able to hear other fans, and were they able to get into your head? Were you able to hear the fans?
It's very rare. I mean, I don't know. Like usually you're so focused on the game, you have so much to think about during the game. In the process, you're processing. I played defense, so everything was reaction. So I'm reacting to whatever the offense is doing. I don't have time to think about the fans. Maybe on the sideline, if I'm having a good game, I might talk trash to some fans. But besides that, I mean, you're gonna hear the little heckling, going on during the game, but you're not paying that any attention. And if you're winning, then maybe you trash talk back.
But you are locked in. I mean, you hear noise, but you don't hear what's being said for the most part.
Sometimes it depends, like if my mom was close to the sideline, then I can always, it's always certain people or certain fans. If you're at a home game, it's certain fans that this fan's in the left corner of the end zone, always, every game, and I know what that fan sounds like. They know who I am. They say my name when I'm warming up. So certain people, and you might give them a wave if you make a play or give them a look, things like that. But besides that, you're focused on the game.
Is that serve as a distraction?
To me, or I mean, it depends on the player.
Knowing that your mom is there or another fan.
I'm sure not every player is like me, like trash talking out there on the field. I know every player is not like me. Like Peyton Manning is not out there. Well, he trash talks a little bit, but there's players.
What does Peyton say?
I don't know. He's more like just talking more than trash talking. He's calling audibles, doing what he does.
But I mean, does he talk to the other team's defense ever? Does he get in it with them? Does he jar with them at all?
Yeah, like in between plays, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, nice hit, you got me there or something. I'm sure he does. I really haven't experienced it. I played against him one time, and
What?
we were talking on the field.
Were you?
like,
What was that like?
It was quick. You know, you don't really have a lot
Peyton,
of time.
I'm coming for you. What did you
no,
say?
No,
What
there's
did you
no
say?
huddle. There's no huddle. You're playing against Peyton. There's no huddle. What are you gonna do? You don't have a lot of time to talk trash. I'm trying to catch my breath out there.
But you're one of the rare players who have not only played on his team as a defensive player, and not only played against Peyton Manning, but you played in his offense as well.
Yeah, I mean. That was,
So what was it like being in that offense, and how's that work?
I mean, he's a demanding person. You know, he's a perfectionist, and on the football field, he really demands perfection. He likes things run exactly how he likes them, and he wants things in order. And if you mess up, he's going to let you know, and you're going to work after practice with him personally or with your coach to make sure everything is right. So he's very demanding.
What about when you're on defense and you guys make either a good play or a bad play? Does he come over and say something to the whole defense?
You know, I think he does a very good job of separating offense and defense from each other. He focuses on his job. I mean, you might see a facial, like a expression on his face, like oh man, you know. Or if we cause a turnover, you might see him like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? You see expressions, but he's not going to just like down talk the defense, just like the defense isn't going to down talk him when he throws 3 or 4 picks.
And have you ever heard him say, tell a cornerback that he's coming after him or anything like that?
No, he's not a trash talker like that. I think he respects, you know, all the players he plays against, and I mean, there's always matchups during a football game, and there's some corners he's not going to throw against.
Clearly,
Darrell Revis, he's not going to throw many football. I mean, he threw like Reggie Wayne's way one time last year when they played the Jets.
But clearly, if you're on the defensive side, you're going to be talking, hey, Peyton, I'm coming to get you, right?
Yeah, then you're trying to play the mind game. You're trying to get in his head and distract him. But
how
it's
effectively does it? Maybe not against Peyton Manning, but how effectively does it work against guys? Even getting them to throw the ball a second or a split second quicker.
I mean, it depends on the quarterback. Obviously, a quarterback that's been in the league longer, that's more experienced, more polished, it's harder to, you know, rattle them. But, you know, maybe if you got a rookie that's not as poised, maybe you can, you know, shake him up a little bit.
And so just getting back to you for a second, when you have a fan, you know where they are in the stands, is that distracting at all? If it's a fan even a fan you like, or your mom? It's
as distracting as you allow it to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like me personally, I'm not paying the fans any attention unless I'm making a play. Otherwise, I'm not paying them any attention. So after I make the play, then, you know, I have all the time in the world, or I have all the time that I want. You know, my little celebration time and all that.
Your little celebration time. All right. So is Tiger going to get his head back on or not? I mean, you've never experienced a slump like this.
What do you think?
I think he will. I think he has to. I think he'll find a way. Whatever it is, Tiger Woods in the next 5 to 6 matches will find a way to get his head on, or he'll have to take a break from golf, take time to reset himself, a real break. He took, you know, a fake break before. And now,
he took a break he had to take.
He had to take that break. He was forced to take that break. In addition to that, I don't think he really got his life together, and he didn't know where his life was going. So he either will in the next
You know what? Mike's confusing me. He's saying in one instance, Tiger needs to go hook up with all these ladies, right? And do it his thing.
Well, you
and
told me, but
that's
then
when
you
he was
told,
playing
but
his
then
best golf. You said that's when he was playing his best golf.
I did say that, but now you're
so
saying
now
maybe he's hooking up with too many ladies.
He needs to get his life together.
Well,
make up your mind.
Whatever it is, he has to get his life together. Whether that means he's got to hook up with more ladies, or he's got to hook up with.
Is that really getting your life together, though? Do you consider that getting your life together?
No.
Or getting your golf? Is that getting
his golf game together?
All right.
No, but even if that's not getting his golf game together, whatever it is, he has to go find himself. So if he can't win in the next 5 to 6 matches, I think he should take a year off golf. Or not. It's not a time. It's not. It shouldn't be timed. It should be. He should take some time away from the game where he doesn't have the pressure of playing every day, practicing every day, and go get his head right, and then he can go back to playing.
I think maybe from playing in matches or events, maybe he should take some time off from that. But playing the game, he's got to play.
I'm not saying he doesn't practice. He
doesn't
play. He doesn't go out on links. But I will tell you this. Without a doubt, I would be shocked if we're sitting here 2 years, 3 years from now, and Tiger Woods is still not won a tournament or has only won 1 or 2 and isn't playing
I can't believe we're still talking about Tiger Woods. Can we talk about something else?
All right, 347-480-1724 is the
They're obviously not interested in Tiger Woods. They didn't call in.
480-1724.
What's up with
Give us
y'all?
a call. The Knicks Chauncey is hurt again. Amari's sitting out tonight.
My man Chauncey got that thigh bruise. I feel bad for him, man. Because he's the player that really makes the Knicks go. He's the gel of that team. They need a healthy Chauncey Billups.
They clinched.
If they want to go far into the playoffs or they want to even get out the first round, they need Chauncey Billups.
I don't think they're getting out of the first round. But
they're definitely not getting out without Chauncey healthy.
To make an attempt. Don't you think that they need to sit anybody they've already clinched? Just sit whoever you need to sit. Get everybody healthy.
Well, they're in the 6th seed right now.
Yeah.
They're only a half game ahead in the 6th seed, so I don't think they're in the position. I don't think they're in a position to let guys sit and rest. I think they're trying to lock in that 6th seed, if not try to move up to the 5. But I don't think they're in a position to let guys rest. Amari's not playing this Friday.
But this is what I'm saying.
There's only 3-4 games left.
Okay, if you're playing, if you're the Knicks, if you want a shot, you're Carmelo Anthony. You just came to the New York Knicks. You've made the playoffs for the first time in 7 years. I imagine that as a player, it's not just good enough to make the playoffs. You want to win in the playoffs. To have any shot at winning in the playoffs this year, wouldn't you feel that you want everybody healthy? That would be Chauncey, that would be Amari, that would be Carmelo as well. So if that means you have to drop seeds, even 2 spots, but keep everybody healthy so you have the best shot of winning, don't you think that's what you'd want to do?
See, Mike's is like taking this approach. I feel like you're taking this approach like it's football and you have a number 1 seed, or even basketball and you're the number 1 seed and you've got it clinched, you've got it locked up, you can't fall to the 2 seed, so you rest guys. They're not in that, they don't have that type of luxury. They're in the 6th seed by half a game. They want to get that 6th seed. That gives them the best chance to win. They'll play Miami or Boston.
I'm not saying to forfeit the games. I'm not saying to walk off the court. You put guys out there. You draw up a game plan to win the game. You give it your all. But what happens if Amari's ankle sprain gets worse and he's ineffective in the playoffs?
I don't think they're going to play. I mean, it's the NBA. They're not going to play these guys unless they're healthy. You're right. It is too close to the playoffs. So if Amari is not fully healthy, he's not going to go out there.
Wait, now you're confusing me. So now you're saying I'm right?
I'm saying you're somewhat right. I don't think they should rest the guys. I think if you're healthy enough to play, then you play.
Okay. I'm not saying
if you're healthy enough to play.
I'm saying get everybody healthy. That's what I'm saying. So if Carmelo's healthy, he plays. If he's got his arms a little sore or his wrist is bothering him or his ankle.
If his arm's a little sore, then he plays because he's healthy enough to play.
Well, then why not play Amari with an ankle sprain?
He's not healthy enough.
He can play with an ankle sprain.
No, he can't. He's not healthy enough to play. He would be playing. You don't think he would be playing if he could play?
You sit anybody.
I think he would be playing if he could play.
I'm saying you sit anybody who's not healthy enough to play, where they might risk.
You know what you're saying, Mike, and this is where I disagree.
These basketball players are so fragile.
You know what Mike's saying? Mike is saying that if you have anything wrong with you, any kind of nick, bruise, anything going on, sit, rest it.
Bruise is ridiculous. I'm talking if you have a tweaked ankle, if you have a tweaked wrist, your shoulder's really bothering you. I'm not talking about if you have a nick or a... No.
I mean, if Carmelo's wrist is bothering him,
I don't talk about like, hey, you've got a little cut on your finger.
You just said if Carmelo's wrist is bothering him,
it's bothering him. I mean, when I say bothering him, I mean it's hurting.
It's been bothering him for the whole season. He plays through that. That's what I'm saying.
But why
you're always, as an athlete, as a professional athlete, you're always going to have injuries that you have to play through.
But basketball players, I don't think they're as tough as football players.
I mean, I don't. Some of them.
I don't even think basketball players. They're not as tough as hockey players. They might not even be as tough as baseball players.
Some of them. You wouldn't say that to my boy Oakley.
But these guys, they're always out with an ankle or a wrist or a finger.
Some of them. You got a guy like Kobe Bryant. He plays every game.
Okay, well, Kobe Bryant is playing. If he's on the Knicks, he's playing tonight.
All right, so Amari should play if he's healthy enough, and Carmelo is healthy enough. Even though he's got something wrong, he's healthy enough to play, so he's playing.
347-480-1724. 347-480-1724. I only want you to call if you think Amari should play tonight. If you think that Amari should sit, or
what are you talking about?
I don't want you to call. No, don't call.
Number one, they don't play till Friday. Number two,
today's Friday.
All right, don't play till later tonight. Number two, Amari is not healthy enough to play. That's not the discussion.
That's what I want to do. I want to argue with somebody who thinks that Amari should play because I don't think he should. I don't even talk to somebody who agrees with me.
That's not up for discussion. Amari's not playing, and he's not healthy enough to play.
Right, so then Chauncey should sit. Anybody else?
Chauncey's not playing because he's not healthy enough to play.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying.
This is the argument.
Yeah.
Mike said Carmelo.
He should.
His wrist might be bothering him.
If his wrist is bothering him, he should sit.
And rest him and get ready for the playoffs.
If his wrist is
and
bothering
that's where I disagree with you. So call in 347-480-1724 and you tell us if Carmelo should play tonight. Because that's the discussion.
Okay, fine. Carmelo.
Even though he has some little nick or something that's bothering that he can potentially rest for the playoffs.
Where do you think his wrist is?
What do you mean?
I mean, where is he with his wrist?
I don't even know what Carmelo's injury is. I just made that up. I don't know. I don't know if he has any injuries. I'm sure he has something. He wears the sleeves. I'm sure he has.
Those sleeves are for fashion. Get out of here.
Sure, his elbows bother him. Maybe he's got a tricep.
He's got the head. What's the headband for then? He's got brain injury, brain trauma,
a tricep strain or something. You know.
You know what? You're not qualified to have this conversation because you don't even know what ailments he's got.
You don't know
just making it up. You can't just make it up.
All I'm saying is, as a professional
you're already
athlete,
a member of the media. I want to crown you an official member of the media.
As a professional athlete, you always are playing with some kind of injury.
You just started a rumor.
You're always playing with some kind
like
of injury.
A member. I'm proud of you. You're already a member of the media.
JoJo, let us know. What's wrong with Melo?
I can't believe you're already a member of the media. You're making up injuries.
What do you mean?
You just told everybody Carmelo's got a wrist injury.
I don't know what's wrong with Melo. I think it might be a tricep strain.
A tricep strain. All right. Well, if he has a tricep strain or an elbow injury, a wrist injury, maybe he's got a left wrist injury. Maybe he's got a big toe that's hurting him.
You're saying rest him.
Sit him out.
No.
Let him have a break.
He's got the same injuries he's been playing through, and he needs to play.
You need collar stays. We need to get you some collar stays.
Man, not on air, man. We could have told me that during the break.
I know, it was bothering me.
Anyway, last night the Celtics lost to the Bulls, which put them, in a tie with the Miami Heat. I'm not sure who has the tiebreaker. You got to look that up. Since JoJo's not answering us, you got to pull that up on your iPad. But I feel like if the Knicks play Boston, if they're matched up with Boston in the playoffs, then the Knicks have no chance in the first round. If they matched up with Miami, I think they match up a lot better, and they could come out and win that series.
I think that they have.
What's your percentage on the Knicks making it out the first round?
0.
You hear that? Call in 347-480-1724. By golly, there's got to be a caller that thinks the Knicks are going to make it out the first round.
Celtics or Heat? 0. If they somehow get the Bulls, I think they've got about a 35% chance.
Maybe if they rest Melo for the rest of the season, they can drop to the 8th seed and play the Bulls.
Maybe if the Heat rests Dwayne Wade and LeBron, they could take on Bosh. Through the playoffs, I mean.
Okay. All right.
I'm looking this up.
I don't think that's a qualified conversation to have right now.
I'm just making a joke.
But I feel like the Knicks' best chance is against the Heat. And the Heat and Boston are tied right now. They're both like 54 and 10 and 15 or something. Yeah, so they're both tied in 54 and 20 maybe?
I'm trying to find this tiebreaker information for you.
You don't know.
Our crack research department has gone AWOL.
AWOL.
347-480-1724. It's 347-480-1724. That's the number to call in. This is Sports Daily on sports.com. That's sportce.com. You can reach us on Twitter at sports_media. And we're on ustream.tv every Monday through Friday, every day, Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern time.
Now, yesterday on the show, I said because the Red Sox were 0-5 that they were in trouble this season. Now they're 0-6. They lost another game. I want to see because Mike said he's not worried. It's the beginning of the season. It's early. It's 162 games. He's not worried about the Red Sox. Let's see what he has to say today.
We're going to tell you that and more right after this. We're going to take a quick break.
See how he stalled?
347-480-1724. It's called a tease. It's called keeping the viewers locked in, leaving them on a cliffhanger. And shouts to Henry Aaron. Today, in 1974, he passed Babe Ruth for the all-time home run record for a career.
Hammer and Hank.
And you know who passed him after that? Barry Bonds. We'll talk a little Bonds as well. No real news in that situation as of yet. But we will talk about that. We will talk about the Bo Sox and a whole lot more when we come back on Sports.com. This is Sports Daily. I'm Michael Artsis alongside Darrell Reid. Back with you in just a moment.
I'm Justin Tucker, the New York Giants, and you're watching Sports.com.
If you want everything sports, you got to go to Sportce.com. That's spelled SPORTCE.com. We're going to take you behind the scenes in the world of sports and a lot more. It's sport, content, and entertainment. We got a lot of great stuff. Technology segments. Now it's got the front and back facing cameras, so you can do video chats like this one via Skype on the 3G network, and you can do FaceTime, only available on the Wi-Fi. It's got a lot of other great features. You can edit on it with iMovie. You can make songs and voiceovers behind the scenes.
We back, Sports.com, at this secret location behind the scenes. Jim Jones.
We'll take you into the lives of athletes, follow them off the field, but it's also music.
Be right here, but it's perfect day.
And other genres as well. Check us out, sports.com, and we've got live shows 5 days a week. A lot of live shows with live guests in our New York City studios. We've got Rally Notes at 7 p.m. on Thursday nights, The Warning Track, 6 p.m. on Friday nights, Schwartz on Sports with esteemed broadcaster Peter Schwartz, 8 p.m. on Tuesday nights, and on Wednesdays, it's The Music Movement with Darrell Reid. Check us out, sports.com.
Hello there, everybody. Welcome to the Warning Track. I'm Matt Mankiewicz.
If you could change one thing about the game today, what would it be?
Baseball fans, don't forget to check out The Warning Track Friday nights at 6 p.m. with Brett Quintine and Matt Mankiewicz. They'll take you through the MLB season, talk everything baseball, have great guests, and field your calls. It's 6 p.m. on Friday night. Don't miss it. The Warning Track. It's out of here.
Welcome back to Sports Daily. Darrell Reid alongside my co-host, Michael Artsis. Appreciate you joining us. And we found out the Celtics have the tiebreaker.
The Celtics do have the tiebreaker over the Heat. They won their, according to GinosJungle.com, that's Ginos jungle.com.
He's always giving these free pubs out.
Yeah, you know, hey, he gave us the good stats, so we got to have it. According to GinosJungle.com, on February 13th, the Heat were beat by the Celtics for the third time this year. That gives the Celtics the first tiebreaker of a head-to-head.
You know what?
winning
I
percentage.
actually knew that.
Did you?
Yeah, because the Heat haven't beat the Celtics or the Bulls all year.
So it goes to winning percentage. So that's the first tiebreaker for that, and then it could go into lots of other things that get confusing. But it probably will be the Celtics.
It goes to head-to-head first.
Yeah.
If you have the same record, then it goes to head-to-head.
Yeah. right. So that's
and then it goes
again,
to
yes,
the
winning
other
percentage
stuff.
against each other. Right.
Yeah.
So that's correct. So the Celtics would have the win in the tiebreaker.
Like I said, the Heat have not beat the Celtics or the Bulls all year.
It's all right. The Heat are coming on in the second season.
If you
Telling
think
you,
so.
that team was built for that.
Okay, so back to the Red Sox talk. This guy stalled over the break.
347-480-1724. Call in. Again, 347-480-1724. That's the call-in number. I did stall to throw a tease to break to keep them on the edge of their seats to make them stay tuned and stay with us.
You're on the edge of your seats with your Red Sox, that's for sure.
Okay.
As a Red Sox fan, it must be tough for you out there. We're in New York right now. 347-480-1724. Call in from Boston. Call in, you Sox fans. I dare you.
0-6 is bad. I think it's reboundable. 0-10, I think that's trouble. And when you're sitting at 0-6, you start thinking about 0-10 as a fan, and I think that's what starts to get scary. 0-6 is reboundable. 0-7 maybe. You know, you got to think about this. In baseball, you can have a 10 or 15 game winning streak. You don't want to, you don't want to make your season over right now in the beginning of your season. You don't want to make it end before the season starts. And you're going to put yourself in a deep hole at 0-10. It's hard to rebound from that. 0-6, still manageable. You're going to lose 6 games at some point in the season. You're probably going to lose 6 games straight some point in the season. So if they can win one here, win 2 here, start getting on a roll, I think that they can rebound. The question in my mind, and I don't mean to cut you off, I'll give you the floor in 1 second here, but the question in my mind is, what is the player's psyche? How much does it play into their mind? I think they've got to just write it off. It's early on. At 10, I think you got to start looking at the manager and the management and then the players.
I think, the Red Sox have some great players. They have a great manager. But I think the issue here is they don't know what the problem is. They're giving up a lot of runs. They gave up 12. They gave up 9. They gave up 5. They're giving up a lot of runs. And then in some games they're not producing runs. So you have issues on both sides. In pitching, you have issues hitting. Some games they only scored 1 run. You know what I mean? So you have issues all over the place. They probably got issues fielding, probably full of errors. So as you said, it comes down to management. But what are you going to do up there? You can't fire the manager. He's been there so long and doing such a great job for so long.
He's a really great manager. I respect him a lot. But 0-10, 0-12, 0-15. That's really bad, and you got to start looking at the players have to be held accountable. I'm a big believer in that, but maybe the manager's not doing something right, and you got to start looking at that. I think because he's been there so long, he gets the benefit of the doubt. But at 0-15 or 1-20 or 2-20, you really have to.
Mike always wants to. You see how he's stalling again? We asked him about 0-6.
0-6 is not that big a deal. That's
we
what I
asked
said.
you about 0-6.
I said 0-6.
Not 0-10.
It starts.
Not 0-12.
I answered the question.
Talk about, we do a daily show. If they're 0-12, we're going to be talking about them when they're 0-12. Let's talk about them right now while they're 0-6.
Okay, and I will tell you this.
You're not worried.
This is what I said. I'm not worried. But
as a Fenway Park fan, you're not worried.
What do you mean as a Fenway Park fan? I don't root for Boston. What I'm saying as a.
You said you like Fenway Park.
I like Fenway Park. Right. Yes.
You're a Fenway Park fan.
I think that as a fan of baseball, that watching the game over the years, that and studying it and knowing it, that the players and the fans shouldn't be nervous at 0-6. They should start to go 0-6 is bad. 0-6 gets you. Okay, it can't get worse than this. We can't let it get worse than this. But 0-6 isn't there yet. 0-10 is
0-10
bad.
is panic.
Is panic, yes.
0-10 is the panic point.
We've got to make major changes.
Trivia question.
Maybe
Trivia
a trade.
question for
Maybe
Mike.
start with a trade.
All right, trivia question.
I mean, they've got such a good lineup. Though.
I mean, they got good pitchers. So I mean, they already made the trades. They made the trades in the offseason. We talked about that yesterday. Trivia question for my man Michael Artsis.
Uh-oh.
What were the Mets' starting record in '86?
I think they were. I think, without looking it up, I think they were 2-5.
2-5.
Yeah.
Now you said yesterday the Mets started horrible.
I said they started horrible.
And 2-5 is horrible. What is 0-6? I mean, come on.
Wait, hold on. I gotta look up the 86. I can't just let it hang.
2-5 is horrible.
That's
what the 86, Mike's favorite team of all time. All time. If that's your favorite team of all time, and they started horrible with 2-5, and still
I gotta look it up.
Went to the series,
I don't know.
Went to win the World Series.
Baseball Almanac.
What is 0-6 to you? 0-6 is
it's
like
bad, but it's not unrecoverable. That's what I'm telling you. 0-10 is unrecoverable. It's starting to get there. 0-15, without a doubt, you're not recovering from that. But 0-6.
You know what I'm waiting for? Just like everybody else in New York, you're waiting for that Boston-New York series. And then if New York sweeps them, it's over for them. It's over for them. If New York sweeps them, they got the couple games in New York, couple games in Boston. Everybody's waiting for that first New York-Boston series.
It's so easy to say that. People always say that, oh, when the Yankees play the Red Sox, it's over. How many times have the Yankees pummeled the Red Sox, especially early on? And the Red Sox come on strong after the All-Star break, and all of a sudden...
Mike, we're talking about an 0-6 Red Sox team. We're not talking about the old Red Sox team where the Yankees and them are battling for the top position in the AL East. We're not talking about that team. We're talking about an 0-6 Red Sox team right now that's struggling. They're struggling at the plate, and they're struggling pitching.
They could come back. So the Mets in '86 were 108-54. We know that, okay?
Okay.
Rockies start with a 2-3 record. So that makes me look pretty bad.
Oh my gosh. 2-3.
But here's the thing: the Mets would
finish. The Mets
would finish
in his head thought that was a horrible start. So obviously, when he was young, watching the Mets in '86. And they started 2-3, he was like, wow, what's going to happen with our season? There's no way my Mets are going to be able to do what I thought they could do.
Well, they just weren't performing. But this is what I'm saying. They bounced back.
They were 2-3.
So what if they were 0-5? Who cares?
They weren't. They weren't.
But it was early on. They went 13-3 in April after that.
Exactly. 13-3 in April. So maybe, I mean, if the Red Sox go 13-3 in April, then I mean April's already here, so they can't go no 13-3.
But the thing is that they have to just start winning, and that's it. And they just have to concentrate on winning. They can't look at what is going wrong. But what about football teams that drop the first 2 games? It's the same kind of thing. Or even 0-3, teams can come back from that. Teams have done it. They've made the playoffs. They've gotten to the Super Bowl. I'm telling you, it's not. You can't write the season off because of an 0-6 start. It's not good, but there's plenty of time still.
Well,
if you're 0-6 after the All-Star break, it's a lot worse than being 0-6 now.
They definitely need to go on some type of run because I feel like the psyche of the players right now is in the dumps.
I do want to say this. I've said from the beginning, I didn't think that before the season started.
Let me fix my collar, man.
Before the season started, I said I don't think the Red Sox are going to win the World Series this year, and I don't think they're going to get to the World Series this year. I do think they'll be contenders, and I do think that they'll make the playoffs, and I stand by that, and I think that they can be at 0-6. It's different when you get into the postseason. What happens? I don't think they're good enough to be a World Series team, but I still think they're good enough to rebound from this and be a contender.
I don't know if they're going to be a contender.
I think they'll certainly be in the chase.
You got the Yankees, right?
Yeah.
You got Texas, right?
Yeah.
Orioles.
I think the Orioles are going to have a great season.
All right, right there.
They're going to be right in that race. That's what I'm telling you.
All right.
And anything can happen in that race. And these 6 games might come back to haunt them. They certainly might. But it doesn't mean you can't have an exciting, good, long season.
I like the Yanks, Texas, and the Rangers, and the Orioles to all finish better than the Red Sox this year.
Okay. And I like the Yanks and Orioles to finish better. I think
not the Rangers.
I don't.
The Rangers
I think the Rangers
hot.
are a good team.
They're smoking hot.
I think they're a good team. I think they got some great players. I like Josh Hamilton a lot. I think that this is not their year.
All right, they're
I think that this is
5-0, 6-0 without Cliff.
I think that the Rangers will get off to a real hot start. The All-Star break will come, and the Rangers will kind of plummet a little, and it'll be hard to get back on track. And I think that that's what's going to happen for them.
Back to a team that you do have some faith in. Those Orioles are definitely looking good. They won last night.
Well, hold on, 5-1. Let's crown them World Series champions.
Your boy Adam Jones,
yeah,
home run in the 6th, 3 RBIs, 3 rubies, 3 batted in.
He's playing great, man.
He's playing.
That's why.
Well, he had a great game. He was batting like 105 or something going into this game. He wasn't having a great season, but he did have a great game.
It's so early, but that's the thing. But he has been playing good. He did have a good spring. Again, that means nothing.
He had a good spring, but I mean, he in the regular season before yesterday.
And we gotta have him on soon. We gotta have him on again soon. He's a great guy, and it's good to see him doing well. But I do think that Buck Showalter knows how to get teams to win, and if you look at his history, and history repeats itself, Buck Showalter will at least take them right to the cusp. He'll take them to the promised land. Whether they win or not, that's questionable. But if they don't win with Buck will be gone in 3 years, and they'll have a new manager who will take them to the promised land.
So you're saying the issue with the Red Sox is their manager, and the Orioles, the reason they're winning is because of their manager.
No, I didn't say it was their manager. I said that
if it goes to 0-10, it's their manager.
I didn't say it was their manager. I believe that the players have a lot of responsibility, and you have to look at the players. I'm saying.
I wish we could rewind the tape right now.
I'm talking about what's going to happen. Okay.
All right, They're
going to start to look at the manager before they look at the players.
All right.
Do I think that that's the way it should be? No. Terry Francona has been an amazing manager for a long time with the Red Sox. He's been a great manager. I think he's a great baseball man. I would be loyal to the guy.
I thought that was your opinion.
No,
you were talking
I was
about
saying what I thought is going to happen.
The organization.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be more clear.
All right.
I'll be more clear.
All right.
I thought
that was your
no, that's what happens. You don't look at the players first. You look at the management.
Okay. But you don't do that.
No, I think the players need to be responsible.
All right.
And I think if Terry Francona has gotten that Red Sox team to do so well for so long, you have to be loyal to him and give him a chance to right the ship. You got to go down to him and say, Terry, what the hell's going on here? And let's get some of these guys out of here and some new blood in here if that's what it takes. Or start cracking the whip. Whatever you do your thing.
Whatever it
Again,
takes.
It's not panic time.
Whatever it takes.
It's not panic time.
Well, maybe you know what? By our next show, by Monday, it could be panic time.
It could be.
It could be. Because they could be playing 3 games this weekend.
They could be 0-9.
And if they're 0-9, we're going to be on the show Monday, and I'm going to be just talking so much junk to you, Mike, because you're going to be panicking because you're a Fenway fan. Fenway fan.
No. New York fan, man. Mets all the way. Mets, Yankees.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right. Mets, Yankees.
Yeah, but I will tell you,
Most people
I
are
would
either
keep,
or.
I would keep Terry Francona around. I think he's a great manager. What I would do is I mean, you don't know. Maybe guys are hurt and they're playing hurt. Maybe, who knows what's going on down there in that clubhouse. Only they know, and they've got to figure that out. But they got to get their swag back. That's basically it. They're a good group of players who have won before.
Swag.
Yeah,
Mike,
that's from hanging out with
the
you.
word swag.
It's from hanging out with you.
I like it. You know, Mike's got his swag back. I want to give somebody a shout out, but I'll keep it down.
Give him a shout out.
Shout out to Jill Artsis.
There you
Helping
go.
Mike get his swag back. Jill, if you're watching, I'm giving you a shout out.
There you go. 347-480-1724. 347-480-1724. That's the number to call. Tell me I'm wrong about Terry Francona. Tell me I'm wrong about anything. Tell D he's wrong about anything. We got to talk about the NFL
Tell
draft.
me golf is not suffering without Tiger playing well.
It is suffering.
All right,
You'd
what are
be
we talking-
blind, deaf, and
we're
living
not-
on another planet to think golf isn't suffering without Tiger.
What were you about to say?
Now I'm going to get a lot of letters and emails from the blind people and deaf people, and that I was making fun of them.
What would we'll deal with that with management later. That does not represent the Sportce.com position at all.
It might. No, it doesn't. All right. The NFL draft. I mean, it's coming up. It's, we're like a week away, 2 weeks away from it. It's 2 weeks away, rather. 2 weeks away from the NFL draft. And these players have a big decision to make. And teams are still making moves. They're still talking to guys. They're still looking at guys.
Decision whether they're going to go to the draft or not?
Decision whether they're going to go to the draft or not, yeah.
I mean, you know what? One thing I can say, I don't care what a player decides, whether he's going to go to the draft and shake Commissioner Goodell's hand or not. I don't think that's that big a deal. What I am happy for is my man Cam Newton, who right now is the #1 prospect and should be the #1 pick. And I'm just happy that the NFL, because I just remember days, when I was young, where black quarterbacks didn't get the proper. What am I looking for?
The opportunities. They didn't
just
get the opportunities.
They didn't even get the proper respect that they
Well,
deserve.
I'll tell you this.
And now you got a guy like Cam Newton, who's just an unbelievable athlete, and guys who paved the way for him. And guys I think it's only like maybe three or four black quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Vince Young, Vic. You got Josh Freeman down in Tampa Bay, and maybe Charlie Batch if he's still quarterback.
Charlie Batch is still playing.
Maybe 4 quarterbacks in the whole league, and I think Cam Newton could definitely come in and show a whole. He reminds me of Vince Young, and playing against Vince Young, he was so hard to play against because of the athleticism.
But shouldn't it just be? Look, he's got a great arm. He's a good quarterback. He's talented. He can study the playbook. He can read the defense. He's talented. That's all that matters. I don't care if a guy's black, white, Hispanic. I don't care.
You know what? They don't care. For a long time, they didn't care about those qualities in any other position. But the quarterback position, definitely there were some issues.
Well, I mean, I can remember going back to high school. The guy who was or middle school rather. The guy who was the baseball coach was also the football coach, and I remember we had this kid, and he was a black kid, and he had the best arm. He was the fastest runner, and he was in the best shape, and he wanted to play quarterback. And the coach did not want him to play quarterback because he said he wasn't smart enough to learn the playbook. And I thought then and think to this day that was not true, but it was because he was black. Now, and I didn't grow up in the 50s or 60s or 70s even. And I was shocked by this, and I just think it's the wrong attitude. But this guy was old school. I mean, I'm not comparing this, but he had the idea that if you were lefty, you couldn't catch. In baseball, you couldn't play any other position but first base or pitch, and I'm not comparing it. What I'm saying is it was an old school mentality that this guy had. It was a horrible mentality, but I think what I'm saying is that I think that you're right that guys have been held back, or you know what? It's not that. It's just that you don't play quarterback. You play wide receiver. You play running back. You play cornerback. They just haven't been given the opportunities to play. But I think it should be. This guy is really talented. He wants to play quarterback. He's got a great arm, great speed, good instincts, good eyesight, and let's teach him how to be quarterback. I think you could teach anybody to be any position.
I just hope Cam Newton's the first pick. He'll be the first black quarterback pick at the #1 spot. and the Carolina Panthers will have a steal in the draft. I also like Von Miller, the outside linebacker. He looks like he's going to be a player in the NFL. Those are my two just impact players straight into the league.
I have to correct you on something.
He's not the first.
He's not the first. In
First
April,
pick. First pick though. He wasn't the first pick.
Hold up.
Here he goes.
I've
He's got that iPad out. He's got that iPad out. I don't think he was the first pick. Was Vic the first pick?
That's what I'm looking at.
That's
NFL draft. Vic was selected first in the 2001
All right,
NFL
he'll be
draft
the second.
by the
He'll be
Atlanta
the second.
Falcons.
All right. Okay, you got it.
Hold on. The San Diego Chargers had the number 1 selection, but traded the rights of the first overall pick to the Atlanta Falcons a day before the draft, for which they received the
As I said,
fifth pick.
guys like Vince Young, Michael Vick, Warren Moon going back really paved the way.
Randall Cunningham. Don't forget about Randall Cunningham.
Randall. I loved Randall.
Randall paved the way for Michael Vick, and I think Michael Vick, growing up watching Randall,
Donovan McNabb.
and you didn't even mention him as one of the guys active, but he might not be active after last season's poor performance.
He's not active.
He needs
As
some
of
chunky.
right now.
No, right, nobody's active. He needs some chunky soup. But
He's still on the Redskins.
by the way, I
still.
actually met his mother when you played in Philadelphia.
McNabb's.
Yeah, when
Okay.
you played in Philadelphia, this is an interesting story. When you played in Philadelphia with the Broncos, I came to the game and you gave me a post-game pass, and I'm walking in the tunnel to come meet you, and I see all these Donovan McNabb jerseys, and I'm in the tunnel, and they were like the nicest people. His mom, his aunt, his brother, and they were like the nicest people. We walked all the way to the locker rooms together, and then I went and said hello to you. And another nice thing that day, this was really cool. Chris Sims was playing for the Broncos, and he was talking to his dad, Phil Sims, who had broadcast that game, and it's rare for that to happen. And I thought it was such a nice father-son moment to see Phil Sims get a chance to not only see his son play, call the game, and then be down in the tunnel with his son after the game, and that was so nice.
Definitely a special moment.
Chris, a good guy, but it was cool to hang with him for 2 minutes.
That was a crazy game. Even after that game was crazy.
It was
trying
crazy.
to find y'all and my family. That was crazy.
It was nuts.
But either way, I'm looking forward to the draft, and hopefully the NFL can get things together.
And
they can get the lockout over.
My point is, it shouldn't matter what a guy is. Just on his talent is how he should be judged. And I know that there's a lot of times where there's a lot of politics involved in the NFL. It's mostly based on if we pay a guy this, he's starting. I don't care if there's a guy better than him behind him, because we pay this guy so much money, he's the guy starting. But I don't care what the position is. I think you got to pick the guy who's the best, and you got to give the guy who is the best an opportunity. And I think Michael Vick I think what he did off the field is horrible. But he's a tremendous athlete, and he's a great athlete, and he's great at quarterback.
And he works so hard.
And he works hard, and he's great to watch.
He works
I think
so
Warren
hard.
Moon was amazing.
He didn't play 2 years.
When I was a kid, I wanted to be Warren Moon.
I love.
I didn't. Warren Moon was amazing.
But
Randall Cunningham was
exciting. You think about
exciting.
Warren Moon, even when he came out, he had to go up and play in the AFL
Yeah.
or in the CFL.
CFL, yeah.
For 8-9 years, and then he came down to the league.
Yeah.
Which was tough, I'm glad they got away from that. Man.
And I also
shouts to Cam Newton.
I also liked I really liked the guy from the Titans who unfortunately was murdered or murder-suicide.
Titans.
The Titans quarterback, former Titans quarterback.
Steve McNair.
Steve McNair, thank you. I really liked McNair. I thought he was a great quarterback.
He was a tough quarterback to bring down.
Yes, absolutely.
You know what? I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the quarterback down in Jacksonville.
Sure. Byron Leftwich.
And Byron Leftwich.
Who's not
I don't know.
in Jacksonville. He's not in Jacksonville.
Pittsburgh,
yeah.
I think, still.
Yeah.
I think he's in Pittsburgh, backing up Roethlisberger. And then David Garrard. Down
But when we
in
were growing up, there were 2 or 3 black quarterbacks in the league. Now we've got a bunch. It's nice to see. And again, I go back to, it's just got to be based on what is the guy's talent.
Exactly.
And that's it. And if you came to me and said, I want to play quarterback, and you're my coach, I say, you know what, you're a better linebacker, and you should be. But because you're better, that's your size. That you're a defensive end, linebacker, whatever, offensive, line. But if you can't, if Michael Vick comes to you and says, I want to be quarterback, you should be quarterback. That's the end of it. So, Chancey Stuckey is a good friend, and he wanted to be a quarterback, and he got stuck at wide receiver. He told me it's the same kind of story. No, you're not quarterback.
I remember
you
I
don't
played
get to play quarterback.
in college. I played with a guy, Asad Abdul Khalik, And to me, he was one of the best quarterbacks I had seen play. And he never got a chance in the NFL. He never played in the NFL. And I believe it may be because he was a black quarterback.
It's quite possible.
And he was like playing his heart out in college.
It's quite possible.
Lefty, he was good.
Well, hopefully Cam Newton gets his shot and goes number 1 because he certainly deserves it. And with that, that's the end of Sports Daily for Friday.
That was quick.
It was quick. Can you believe we did an hour already? Look at that. So we're with you on Monday from 1 to 2 and then through the rest of the week, every day, 1 to 2 on sports.com and ustream.tv. We got a lot of great guests lined up for you next week, and you can check out a lot of great stories on demand on our sports site on sports.com. In addition to that, which is my favorite word, you can also check out the Warning Track. Tonight at 6 p.m., it's our baseball show hosted by Brett Quintine and Matt Mankiewicz.
Check out the Warning Track. Big shots to Ustream, our partner.
You wrap it up, partner.
Listen, we're done. That's it. It's Friday, Sports Daily. We'll see y'all Monday. Take care.
Have a great weekend.